This is Leonrus cardiaca, which is Motherwort. She is just kind of finishing flowering at the moment. So she's been in flower for the last number of weeks, which is when we harvest her. So it's aerial parts we use of this plant. I've already harvested Motherwort for tincturing. We don't tend to use it dried, it's quite bitter taste. So you can see some of the cut branches already. There's quite a few stalks already missing off that plant, but that's all I wanted to take from this plant. And so Leonrus cardiaca is such a lovely, lovely nervine plant, really useful for things like palpitations and panic attacks, and issues where there is nervous anxiety or tension, and it's coming from a heart place, so that heart energy has become disturbed. This is when I like to think of using Leonrus. So I use it a lot in clinic, and that kind of heart heat that's agitating the nerves is where I really use it. It's also useful for premenstrual tension and other menstrual issues. It's an emmenagogue, so it helps move the menses, and it'll bring on periods, so it can be really useful that way. As I said, it's mostly used as a really nice nervine, and again for that agitation. So panic attacks is probably one of the main things that I would use Leonrus cardiaca for. We grow lots of different types of Leonoruses here, Sibiricus, Japonicus, Leonrus leonitis as well. Some of them have quite similar uses, different sizes and slightly different colours in the flowers. It's a gorgeous plant to have in the garden. It's quite structurally quite beautiful. Our bees love it. The bees love to feed off it when it's in flower like this, and then when the seeds come, which will be probably, you can see little seeds heads already coming, so in another month or so time, and even after that when the seed heads are ready to drop, you'll see little birds all over this plant picking off the seed heads. And it's really interesting because when she's in flower like this, she's quite soft, lovely soft flowers, but when the seed starts to come, these spikes start to appear around the seeds, and I like to think of that as being her protective mothering aspect. It's such a lovely plant for new mothers as well. It has an oxytocic effect. It's a uterotonic as well, so not to be taken in pregnancy, but it would be one of the things that I would often prescribe to women after birth. It would be such a good plant for that. So I often give that to ladies who are pregnant and they're about to give birth, for them to take directly after the birth, and mostly for postpartum depression. So it's really, really useful for that, and just gives that kind of support that a woman needs after birth as well, and a nice nervine tonic, so it's a nice sedative and a nice antispasmodic, so it can help with all those uterine contractions that are happening just after you give birth, in those couple of weeks. And it can be really nice to relax the nervous system and the trauma or the distress that one might have gone through during labour. So beautiful plant for that. Again, Motherwort, Leonrus cardiaca, just essential to have in the herb garden.